Good morning. Back with our class on heredity and evolution. We will read from the textbook now. Open your textbook to page number 142. Okay. So we have studied yesterday that basically for heredity what is responsible? Genes. Genes are what? They are a segment of DNA. These genes which are a segment of DNA are present where? In the chromosomes, and chromosomes are present in the nucleus of a cell. We also studied that there are important characteristics of body design which is transferred from one generation to another. These are called as what? Traits. There are two kinds of traits. What are the two kinds of traits? Acquired traits and inherited traits. Acquired traits basically are acquired by the individual in his lifetime. These are the lifestyle changes or lifestyle things which he acquires during his journey or during his life. It may be because of his profession, it may be because of his surrounding. Whereas inherited traits are traits that are inherited from his parent to the offspring and from him to his next generation. Acquired traits do not change any changes in its reproductive tissue, whereas inherited traits make changes in the reproductive tissue. Acquired traits do not lead to evolution. Inherited traits lead to evolution. Examples of inherited trait: all our body parts, the size of our ear, the attachment of the earlobe, the size of the shape of your eyebrow, the color of your eyeballs, your hands, feet, everything is what? Inherited traits. The texture of your hair, the color of your skin is all what? Inherited traits. Acquired traits, I told you, not exercising, foul language, use of foul language, or as in case of beetles, we studied that there were a group of beetles living in green bushes. Due to some reason, the beetle bushes got disease, and then the beetles did not have enough food. So the size of the beetle or the average size of the beetle reduced. But as soon as we found that the disease in the bushes went off, the beetles again started eating nicely as food was abundant, and what their average size became better. So the size of the beetle going from small to big is not an inherited trait. It is what trait? An acquired trait. Clear? So we will read this part. We have seen that reproductive processes give rise to new individuals that are similar but subtly different. Why are they different? Because there are errors in what copying? DNA copying. We have discussed how some amount of variation is produced even during asexual reproduction, and the number of successful variations are maximized by the process of sexual reproduction. If you observe a field of sugarcane, we find very little variation among individual plants. But a number of animals, including human beings, which reproduce sexually, quite distinct variations are visible among different individuals. In this chapter, we shall be studying the mechanism by which variations are created and inherited. The long-term consequences of the accumulation of variation are also an interesting point to be considered. We shall be studying this under evolution. That is why we say sexual reproduction maximizes variation. These variations accumulated over a long period of time lead to evolution. Accumulation of variation during reproduction. Inheritance from previous generation provides both a common basic body design and subtle changes in it for the next generation. Now think about what would happen when this new generation in turn reproduces. The second generation will have differences they inherit from the first generation as well as newly created differences. Figure 9.1 would represent the situation if a single individual reproduces as it happens in case of asexual reproduction. If one bacterium divides and then the resultant two bacteria divide again, the four individual bacteria generated would be similar. but there would be only very minor differences between them. You can see some colors are different. You can see, no, one bacteria divides into two, and that two divides into further 4. But their body design remains the same, but there is small difference in the type of color, in the shape, or the basic structure remains the same. There would be only minor differences between them generated due to small inaccuracies in DNA copying. However, if sexual reproduction was involved, greater diversity will be generated. As we will discuss with the rules of inheritance, do all these variations in a species have equal chances of surviving in the environment in which they find themselves? No. Depending on the nature of variations, different individuals find different kinds of advantages. Bacteria that can withstand heat will survive better in a heat wave. As we have discussed earlier, we have discussed that variation leads to what advantage? Survival advantage. Selection of variants by environmental factors forms the basis for evolutionary processes, as we will discuss in later section. So now in text question 1, notebook tegiri. Bari page number 143 in text question 1. Okay, so see, if a trait A exists in 10% population of an asexually reproducing species and a trait B exists in 60% of the same population, which trait is likely to have arisen earlier? If I see that there is a trait A, let us suppose I say this joining of my earlobes, fine? There are free earlobes and then there are joint earlobes. So if let us consider that one trait, joint earlobes, is present only in 10% of population and another trait is present in 60% of the population, which trait has arisen earlier? Yaud first agirbodu? Which characteristics we keep on reproducing only if it is 60%? What is the answer? Because now adanne transfer martivi, which is good for us. So if 60% of the population is good, means that trait is dominant and it would be passed on from one generation to another. So please write trait B have arisen earlier as percentage of any gene in a population, as percentage of any gene in the population increases from one generation to another. Increases from one generation to another. Okay, now the next question. How does the creation of variation in a species promote survival? In the reproduction of the so right, I'll explain, you write on your own and finish. You will say, during sexual reproduction, there are errors in DNA copying which leads to variation. Variation always leads to survival advantage, as in case of beetles. There are a group of red beetles living in green bushes. The crow could easily spot the red beetles and hence the population of red beetles decreases as the crow could easily eat them. Due to some errors in DNA copying, one of the beetles becomes green and the green beetle reproduces and produces only green beetles. As a result of it, now the change in the color of the beetle leads to survival advantage, as the crow cannot see green beetle in green bushes. First example. Second, which was the second example? The bacteria which was living in temperate waters could not withstand heat. But due to global warming, if the temperature of the water increases, only few bacteria would develop genes to resist or to adapt to the heat, survive, and rest all bacteria perished. So this change in the gene pool of bacteria to adapt to the hot conditions is leading to what advantage? Survival advantage. Baritira. Gutta or dictate manpilla. Say yes or no? You'll write both examples, please write. Pause madarago, hurry. Yeah, so the two examples of bacteria and beetles have to be written for that answer, that variation in species promote promote survival advantage. Now heredity. Yesterday we studied that heredity is a science of genetics is the science of heredity and variation. The most obvious outcome of the reproductive process still remains the generation of individuals of similar design. The rules of heredity determine the process by which traits and characteristics are reliably inherited. Let us take a closer look at these rules. Inherited traits. What exactly do we mean by similarities and differences? We know that a child bears all the basic features of a human being. However, it does not exactly look like its parents, and the human population shows a great deal of variation. So when you talk about inherited traits, we know that we inherit what? Our basic body design. When we inherit the basic body design, there are some errors in DNA copying due to which we do not look identical to our parents, but we look slightly different. Okay, this is called as what? Variation. And more sexual reproduction, more will be the chance of variation, and more we will lead to evolution. Activity 9.1. Observe the years of all the students in the class. Prepare a list of students having free or attached earlobes and calculate the percentage of students having each. Find out about the earlobes of the parent in each student in the class. Correlate the earlobe type of each student with that of their parents. Nobody does this experiment, okay? Because parents, they will get shouted. Based on this evidence, suggest a possible rule for the inheritance of earlobe types. Acquired traits do not follow any laws of inheritance because they are acquired by a particular individual according to his place where he lives and according to his lifestyle. But inherited traits follow certain laws. And those laws which of inheritance are given by whom? Gregor Johann Mendel. Rules of inheritance of traits, Mendel's contribution. The rules for inheritance of such traits in human beings are related to the fact that both the father and mother contribute practically equal amount of genetic material to the child. Isn't it we studied? 2n number of chromosome gives what? N and N, or 23 pairs. So in the egg has 23 chromosomes and the sperm has 23. So that the new individual again becomes what? 23 pairs of chromosomes. This means that each trait can be influenced by both maternal as well as paternal DNA. Thus, for each trait, there will be two versions in each child. Andre, let us suppose I talk about hair. Okay? I have very straight hair, straight black hair. But let us suppose my husband has a hair which is very curly and not very thick, but his hair is curly. So when a new individual is born due to sexual reproduction, there will be both those genes. a straight gene, hair gene, which his body will be taking, and one curly gene. And every time when the gene makes its appearance, there is a fight for these two. Maternal DNA will win or paternal DNA will win. Whichever is the strongest, whichever is the dominant, will make its appearance in the child. Okay? So, and I have my genes from my parents. My parents have it from their parents. So, we have been accumulating what? Variations from a long generation. Okay. What will then the trait seen in the child be? Mendel worked out the main rules of such inheritance, and it is interesting to look at some of his experiments from more than a century ago. Mendel was educated in a monastery and went on to study science and mathematics at the University of Vienna. Failure in the examination for a teaching certificate did not suppress his zeal for scientific quest. He went back to his monastery and started growing peas. Yesterday I said Mendel mainly did all his experiments on what plant? Pea plant. What is pea plant called as? Pisum sativum. Its botanical name is Pisum sativum. Why did he choose pea plant? Because it has a wide variety of contrasting characters. Many others had studied the inheritance of traits in peas and other organisms, but Mendel blended his knowledge of science and mathematics, and the first one to keep count of individuals exhibiting a particular trait in each generation. This helped him to arrive at the laws of inheritance that we have discussed in the main text. But after doing this, he wrote in sheets and sheets of paper, and he died unrecognized. After many years, there was a scientist by name Hugo de Veries who again did certain experiments on fruit fly and came to the same conclusion. So he went back and found that there was some gentleman who had also done, and he gave him that due importance, and that is why we study the entire genetics with Mendel's laws of inheritance. Mendel gave 3 laws of inheritance. First, called as the law of dominance. I am writing here. Then I make you write law of dominance. Second was law of segregation. And third was law of independent assortment. Law of independent assortment. So Mendel gave 3 laws of inheritance: law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. As we study further, we will get the hold of all the 3 laws of Mendel. But ಈ 3 ಲಾನು ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೆಸರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, but they have explained. But we have to study all the 3 laws: law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. Mendel used a number of contrasting visible characters of cardinal pea, round and wrinkled seed, tall short plants, white violet flowers, and so on. He took pea plants with different characteristics. A tall plant and a short plant produced progeny from them and calculated the percentage of a short progeny. So now let us come back to our notebook back and write. On which plant, last question ಏನು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ರಿ? Index question. On which plant did Mendel carry his experiment and why? On which plant did Mendel carry his experiment and why? Please write. Mendel carried his experiment on pea plant. Mendel carried his experiment on pea plant. Please write in bracket the name Pisum sativum. Pea plant, in bracket you please write Pisum sativum. Next sentence very deep. He chose pea plant because it is a 2 marks question in board. Why did he choose pea plant? He chose pea plant because, first point very deep, it shows wide variety of contrasting characters. It shows wide variety of contrasting characters. Okay, such as wide variety of contrasting characters, such as round and wrinkled seeds, comma, tall and short plants, white and violet flowers, and green and yellow seeds. Green and yellow seeds. Artha aita idu bardirodu. Pea plant basically has lot of wide varieties of characters. Some pea plants are tall, some pea plants are short. Some pea plants have round seed, some pea plants have wrinkled seed. Some pea plants have seeds which are green in color, some which are yellow in color. Some which have white flowers, some which have what? Violet flowers. Right, next point. The pea plant can easily be self-pollinated as well as cross-pollinated. The pea plant can easily be self-pollinated or cross-pollinated. Now the third point, many generations of the pea plant can be obtained in a short time. Many generations of the pea plant can be obtained in a short time or in a short duration of time. The plant, next point, the plant is easy to handle due to its small size. The plant is easy to handle due to its small size. So this is the starting of the chapter, which you should know that what are traits, what are acquired traits and inherited traits. Who is the father of genetics? Gregor John Mendel. There are two kinds of traits, acquired traits and inherited traits. Inherited traits follow the law of inheritance, which was given by Mendel. Clear? On what plant did he do? On the pea plant, because it has wide variety of contrasting characters. It can be self-pollinated as well as cross-pollinated, as it only takes 3 months. So many generations can be taken in a duration of small time, and we say that as it is a very small plant, it is very easy to handle. In tomorrow's class, we will come to actual study of genetics, which is monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. Thank you.